Turns out lizard men can't handle a good old-fashioned punch to the face. The Galactic Council, comprised of representatives from dozens of starfaring species, had never seen anything like Earth. When the Council first stumbled upon our backwater planet, they deemed it a primitive curiosity, a place to be cataloged and quarantined. But then came the invasion. Arrogant, ill-planned, and disastrously ill-prepared for the reality of Earth. For centuries, the Council had maintained an uneasy peace throughout the galaxy. Conflicts were resolved with diplomacy, technological superiority, or, if necessary, surgical strikes by elite forces. The Council had grown soft, accustomed to dealing with their internal squabbles through methods that required little more than a flick of a tentacle or the pressing of a holographic button. But the Council had never dealt with humans. When the aliens first landed, they came in sleek ships bristling with advanced weaponry. They expected surrender, compliance, and submission. They did not expect a shotgun blast to the face at point-blank range from a Montana rancher defending his cattle. Nor did they expect an entire nation of similarly armed and furious humans to respond with a ferocity unmatched in their millennia-spanning history. The first weeks of the invasion were a bloodbath for the aliens. Earth's diverse and harsh environments, from frozen tundras to scorching deserts, proved deadly to the invaders. Their sophisticated energy weapons malfunctioned in the humid jungles, and their bioengineered soldiers fell prey to the diseases and predators that humans had been battling since they first walked upright. The aliens were not prepared for the human way of war, adaptable, ruthless, and deeply personal. It wasn't just military forces they faced, but every man with a hunting rifle, every farmer with a pitchfork, and every teenager who knew how to rig an explosive out of household chemicals. One of the most significant early battles took place in the Amazon rainforest. The Kusht, a reptilian species known for their brute strength and thick hides, thought the dense jungle would give them the upper hand. They were wrong. Human guerrilla tactics, honed through centuries of conflicts from the Viet Cong to the drug cartels, turned the rainforest into a trap. The Kusht, unfamiliar with the terrain and unable to see their foes, were picked off one by snipers who seemed to vanish into the foliage. The Council's high command, situated safely on the moon, was in a state of disbelief. Reports flooded in of units decimated by what they considered primitive ballistic weapons, traps that reduced entire platoons to shredded meat, and the relentless psychological warfare humans waged with their hit-and-run tactics. General Marcus Hunter was a name that quickly became infamous among the invaders. A former Special Forces operative, Hunter had seen his fair share of combat, but nothing could have prepared him for fighting aliens on his home turf. He led a ragtag militia in the American Midwest, turning rolling plains and farmlands into deadly kill zones. The alien walkers, massive bipedal machines armed with plasma cannons, found themselves ambushed and destroyed by homemade IEDs and precision-guided rocket launchers. The pinnacle of early human resistance came during the Battle of New York. The alien flagship, a colossal floating fortress, descended above Manhattan, casting a shadow over the city. The aliens broadcasted their demands for immediate surrender, expecting compliance. Instead, they were met with a barrage of missiles from hidden launch sites, followed by waves of guerrilla fighters emerging from the subway tunnels and skyscrapers. It was here that the humans demonstrated one of their most dangerous traits, their ingenuity. The aliens, with all their technological prowess, did not anticipate the human ability to repurpose civilian technology for warfare. Drones, hacked and weaponized, swarmed the alien command centers. Improvised railguns, built from salvaged electromagnetic components, punched holes in the alien armor. Even simple Molotov cocktails hurled from rooftops wreaked havoc on the alien troops. But it was not just human weaponry that made the difference. It was their resilience, their unwillingness to bow to a superior force, and their capacity for unity in the face of annihilation. Men who had never held a gun before took up arms, trained by veterans who had seen combat in deserts and mountains across the globe. The invaders, expecting a disorganized rabble, found themselves facing a united front of warriors who fought for every inch of their homeland. The Galactic Council, monitoring the situation from their distant strongholds, began to realize the depth of their miscalculation. Earth was not just another planet to be conquered. It was a crucible of conflict, a forge that had tempered humanity into something far more dangerous than they had ever anticipated. The Council's forces were being bled dry, their morale shattered, and their strategic objectives slipping further out of reach with each passing day. Yet this was only the beginning. The true horror for the invaders was not just the immediate brutal resistance they faced, but the dawning realization that humanity had only begun to tap into its potential for war. With each day, human forces grew more coordinated, their tactics more refined, and their resolve more unbreakable. The Council had awoken a sleeping giant, and the full wrath of Earth was yet to be unleashed. General Hunter, standing amidst the ruins of what was once a peaceful suburban neighborhood, watched as his men prepared for the next wave of attacks. He knew that this war was far from over, but he also knew that humanity had already shown the aliens a glimpse of what it meant to fight on Earth, a death world where even the smallest creatures were fighters, and where humans were the apex predators. And he was ready to show them so much more. The aliens called it the Great Reversal, the moment they realized they had bitten off far more than they could chew. Across the globe, the tide of battle had shifted dramatically. The initial shock of the invasion had worn off, replaced by a grim determination and a surge of technological ingenuity from the human resistance. In the heart of Africa, the Maasai warriors, armed with spears and a deep knowledge of their land, took on the lithe, multi-limbed Gort aliens. These aliens, whose strength lay in their agility and superior climbing abilities, found themselves outmatched in close quarters by the ferocity and tactical acumen of the Maasai. They were lured into narrow gorges, ambushed in the tall grass, and outmaneuvered in ways they could scarcely comprehend. The Maasai, silent and deadly, turned the savannah into a graveyard of fallen invaders. Meanwhile, in the freezing wastelands of Siberia, the tough-as-nails Siberian partisans engaged the amphibious Andri, whose biological adaptations made them formidable in wet environments but vulnerable to extreme cold. Utilizing hidden-run tactics perfected through generations, the partisans sabotaged supply lines and launched surprise attacks on encampments. They took advantage of the Andri's reliance on their environmental suits, which were prone to freezing and malfunctioning in the brutal cold. These suits became icy tombs as the humans pressed their relentless assault. In the sprawling deserts of Australia, the Yaws, traditionally reclusive, emerged to fight alongside the Australian Defence Forces. Their intimate knowledge of the outback, combined with the ADF's disciplined military tactics, created a deadly synergy. The Calagon, a species adapted to aid worlds with sprawling underground networks, were defeated as their tunnels collapsed from precise human-placed charges. Surface combat, where they expected to dominate, turned into a nightmare as humans struck with sniper fire from camouflage positions. Then there were the urban guerrilla fighters in the ruins of Tokyo. The city, a twisted landscape of rubble and shattered skyscrapers, became the stage for relentless urban warfare. The insectoid Drow, who thrived in tight, complex environments, were confronted by a human resistance that navigated the city with ease. The Tokyo fighters utilized the labyrinthine subways, destroyed infrastructure, and knowledge of every alleyway to their advantage, creating kill zones that trapped and annihilated the invaders. The Galactic Council's overconfidence was shattered, not just by human tenacity but also by their propensity for rapid technological adaptation. Alien energy weapons, once an overwhelming advantage, were soon countered. Human engineers, both in makeshift laboratories and hidden underground facilities, reverse-engineered these weapons. The result was the creation of hybrid armaments that combined human ballistic technology with alien energy projectors, giving resistance fighters a significant boost in firepower. One such engineer, Dr. Nathaniel Reyes, led a covert team deep beneath the Rocky Mountains. Their work culminated in the development of the ARC-7, a rifle capable of firing both traditional ammunition and concentrated plasma bursts. This weapon quickly became a symbol of human ingenuity and resilience, turning the tide in several key battles. Reyes and his team, drawing from a diverse pool of global knowledge, also developed countermeasures against the alien shielding technology, rendering the invader defenses increasingly ineffective. In Europe, the ancient castles and fortresses were repurposed as formidable strongholds. The castle of Nanstein, overlooking the Bavarian Alps, became a beacon of resistance, manned by a coalition of European forces and local militias. It served as both a defensive bastion and a staging ground for coordinated assaults. The aliens, unable to breach the medieval walls fortified with modern defenses, suffer heavy casualties in their futile attempts to capture it. General Hunter, now a key figure in the global resistance, coordinated with leaders from every continent in a hidden command center. He pored over maps and intelligence reports. His keen strategic mind recognized the importance of unity and adaptation. The humans, previously fractured by borders and politics, now fought as one species, driven by a singular goal: survival. But it was not just the grand battles and technological triumphs that defined humanity's resistance. It was the small acts of defiance, the everyday heroism that inspired and galvanized the global population. Stories of individual bravery circulated widely, like that of Private First Class John Kearney, who single-handedly held off an alien squad to protect a group of civilians in Chicago, or that of a group of prisoners who managed to escape and sabotage a major alien supply depot in the Brazilian rainforest. The psychological warfare waged by humans also took a toll on the invaders. Propaganda broadcasts filled with images of alien defeats and human resilience were transmitted on frequencies hijacked from the Council's own communication networks. Messages of hope and resistance were scrawled on walls, transmitted via clandestine radio, and even dropped from drones over occupied territories. The Council, once composed of distant overseers, now faced the grim reality of a prolonged and costly war. They had underestimated the human spirit, the capacity for innovation under pressure, and the sheer tenacity of a species born from a planet where survival was never guaranteed. Their fleets, once symbols of unassailable power, now lay in wreckage across Earth's diverse terrains. As the second year of the invasion drew to a close, the Council convened in an emergency session. The once confident commanders, now fraught with the stress of their faltering campaign, debated their next move. Unbeknownst to them, humanity was preparing for the next phase, a coordinated global offensive designed to reclaim their planet fully. The invaders would soon learn the full extent of Earth's wrath and why it was known as a death world to those who dared tread upon its soil. The dawn of the third year of the invasion saw Earth in a state of relentless, organized fury. The humans, having honed their resistance into a precise and deadly machine, prepared for their most ambitious offensive yet. Across every continent, desperate groups of fighters synchronized their efforts under the unified command of General Marcus Hunter and other key leaders. Operation Phoenix, as it was codenamed, aimed to drive the invaders from Earth once and for all. The plan was ambitious: simultaneous assaults on alien strongholds worldwide, coordinated to overwhelm the enemy's defenses and disrupt their command structure. The goal was not just to defeat the invaders, but to annihilate them so thoroughly that no other species would dare set foot on Earth again. In the command bunker beneath the Rocky Mountains, General Hunter and Dr. Reyes finalized the operation details. Hunter, grizzled and battle-hardened, looked at the holographic map of Earth, dotted with red and blue markers. The red represented alien-occupied territories. The blue, human resistance forces. He nodded to Dr. Reyes, who activated the final sequence of commands. "All units are green," Reyes confirmed. "We're ready." Hunter's voice carried through encrypted channels, reaching every resistance leader and soldier. "Today, we take back our world. Remember what you're fighting for. Remember every sacrifice. We are the apex predators of this death world. Let's show them why." At precisely 06 hours, Operation Phoenix commenced. The first targets were the alien anti-aircraft batteries that had prevented effective human air support. In Russia, teams of saboteurs infiltrated the heart of the alien defense grid. Using their knowledge of the harsh winter terrain, they planted charges that destroyed critical power nodes. Plunging into darkness, the guerrillas emerged from the foliage like wraiths, striking swiftly and disappearing before the aliens could mount an effective counterattack. In Europe, the combined forces of the resistance and remnants of national armies besieged the alien command center in the ruins of Berlin. Tanks rolled through the streets, and drones provided real-time intelligence, allowing infantry units to navigate the war-torn city with lethal efficiency. The Nanstein Fortress, its defenders emboldened by the global offense, launched a surprise flank attack that caught the aliens off guard. Amidst the chaos, General Hunter and his elite strike team penetrated the central command hub of the alien invasion force, located deep within the Australian outback. The facility, protected by the most advanced alien technology, had been thought impenetrable. But the humans had cracked the invaders' encryption codes, thanks to the relentless work of our eyes and his team. The final assault was a symphony of destruction. Hunter's team breached the outer defenses using EMP grenades to disable the alien shielding. They moved swiftly through the complex, engaging in fierce firefights with the remaining defenders. The corridors echoed with the sounds of gunfire and alien screams as the humans advanced, their determination unwavering. Reaching the central control room, Hunter confronted the alien commander, a towering figure with an air of arrogance and desperation. The alien sneered. "You humans are nothing. Nothing but savages, unfit for the galactic stage," the commander hissed. Hunter leveled his rifle, his gaze cold and unyielding. "We're survivors, and you've overstayed your welcome." With a single precise shot, Hunter ended the alien commander's life. The resistance fighters quickly secured the control room, transmitting a signal that deactivated the remaining alien defenses worldwide. The once invincible invaders were now vulnerable, their command structure in shambles. In the ensuing weeks, humanity pressed its advantage, mopping up the remaining alien forces. The invaders, now leaderless and demoralized, surrendered in droves or were hunted down and eliminated. The Council's attempt to subjugate Earth had ended in utter failure. Their once mighty fleets were reduced to wreckage, and their soldiers scattered. The Galactic Council, reeling from their losses and the sheer ferocity of human resistance, withdrew all remaining forces from Earth. They imposed a quarantine around the planet, marking it as a forbidden zone, a death world too dangerous to engage. Stories of human resilience, ingenuity, and brutality spread throughout the galaxy, forever altering the perception of Earth and its inhabitants. As the last of the alien ships left Earth's atmosphere, General Hunter stood on a hillside overlooking the reclaimed city of New York. The ruins were a stark reminder of the cost of victory, but the sight of humans rebuilding, reclaiming their world, filled him with fierce pride. Dr. Reyes joined him, looking at the sunrise. "We did it," he said. Hunter nodded, the weight of the past years evident in his eyes. "We showed them what it means to be human. We showed them why Earth is a death world."